you ever go to an afters and there's somebody there who you finished like fucking 3 bags of coke, and the one cunt who's sat in the back of the thing going, yeah, but the Israeli government is really just doing some disgusting things in Palestine right now. That guy who's ruining everybody's fun, that's a crack killer. That's a fun killer. That's the name of the band, Craic Killers, because yeah, bro, I'm ending the fun every time. Every time. The set is good crack because everything is banging. I'm a good musician. Listen, hear me out. It shit slaps. However, if you come and talk to me afterwards, chances are you're getting like a 40-minute discussion on how the 6 counties should be free, and Palestine should be free, and Sudan should be free, and Congo should be free. Free everybody.
Vision is clear and the judgment is blurred. As long as they don't come to get me first. Vision is clear and the judgment is blurred. As long as they don't come to get me first. Vision is clear and the judgment is blurred. As long as they don't come to get me first. The book are you seeing the man? Whatever you're calling out, off in their head. The book are what we need in the man. Whatever you're calling them, they can get fucking bent. The book are you seeing the man? Whatever you're calling out, off in their heads.
I'm Mr. Craic. I'm from Craic Killers. We used to be a 2-piece, now we're a 1-piece. So it's almost redundant to call it Craic Killers and not just like Mr. Crack's Wondrous Emporium. I would describe the sound as like, I suppose I'd just say punk as a general sort of descriptor, maybe alternative, since I technically sing rather than scream sometimes, sort of. But I'd say the main thing we try and get across with the music, regardless of what genre you want to perceive it as, is the 2 primary messages are Chucky Arlag, the Sudan Palestine. And then aside from that, we do work for Cuba and we do work for Sudan and Congo as well. So generally just like human rights, bro. Come on.
I should have seen this shit coming. You don't care, you just want the money. You little flower power fucks don't seem to get it. You little flower power fucks don't need to read, cause you just get it. So let's art school kids, when this comes around, you're all activists. So let's art school kids, when this comes around, you're all activists. So let's art school kids, when this comes around, you're all activists. So let's art school kids.
I feel like it's important for me to get those messages across because like the music I was making before when I was at university didn't feel like it really had any point to it aside from like trying to make it in music, and I felt like at a certain point that's wasting your life. Why not do something that's actually important and worth my time? And it has been worth my time. Everything that I've done since starting Craic Killers has been fundraising and working for people who are in Palestine and you know, suffering greatly from the genocide that the Israeli government has put onto their country.
So let's art school kids, when this comes around, you're all activists. So let's art school kids, when this comes around, you're all activists. So let's art school kids, when this comes around, you're all activists. So let's art school kids. So let's art school kids.
I think it's especially important to sort of make an effort to be political and spread awareness for things, especially in an era where there's bands like Kneecap who spread awareness, but actually all of their fans are going to McDonald's straight after, all of their fans are buying Coca-Cola at the gig. I think it's important to actually be politically active and be an activist whilst you are making music that's in any way political at all. So at Craic Killers we like to champion ourselves for actually bothering to fundraise, actually bothering to talk about it, actually speaking to people in Palestine, speaking to people in the Congo when we can. And I think it's just something about like almost authenticity, because there'd be so many people, oh, free Palestine, but you don't actually do anything. So what we like to do at Craic Killers is actually bother, essentially, is what it is.
PSNI are fucking pedos, the street teaching kids, they're fucking pedos. This has to be the worst rebrand of all time. The RUC never left, now they're touching kids on your dime. 3 out of 27 is not enough to kidnap little kids so you can come a wee touch. Not an appropriate adult insight, what's left to expect of the PSNI? They don't care about sex crimes, man. It would be embarrassing to arrest your coworkers that many times, man. I mean, imagine the Craic Killers. Seriously, like imagine.
I think some of my favourites that really represent what we're about at Craic Killers would be like Neomoric, which is the one that's about sort of Irish unity and the way things are over there, and Dear 10 would be another one, which is about Palestine and the Israeli government and the IDF. And then off of the new stuff, PSNI and public relations, I'd say, are most representative of what we're doing as a band right now, or what I'm doing as a musician right now. TFL also a good one, because that is just like pure unfiltered. Like half of that was improvised. It's a good one. I do like that track off the record, because I mean, I'm sure you were on buses over the heat wave, mate. Whoa, fucking lethal. It was just horrible. So like TFL I think is a really good sort of representative of like what we do for the crack, no pun intended, and then PSNI would be better representative of the political stuff that we talk about, because I'm not sure if any of you guys would be aware from where you're watching, but the PSNI would be strip searching children, we kids, no appropriate adults. Actually the PSNI, every single member of the PSNI should die. Maybe even public execution. Maybe even.
The PSNI are fucking pedos, they're strip searching kids, they're fucking. The PSNI are fucking pedos, they're strip searching kids, they're fucking. It's mission for the PSNI. Tommy the Scott, I'm telling you lies. You can trust me, I swear, my cup of fuckle wouldn't lie. And my Lamborghini, I'm putting it between your eyes. So none of this would happen if you teach me down the night. None of this would happen if you teach me down the night. None of this would happen if you teach me down the night. None of this would happen if you teach me down the night. None of this would happen if you teach me down the night. The PSNI are fucking pedos. Strip searching kids, they're fucking pedos. The PSNI are fucking pedos. They're strip searching kids, they're fucking.
I mean, I think DIY is such a huge part of punk, and at a certain point, if you're sending off to factories in Indonesia to make your merch, and you're sending off to have like child labour be a part of any of your process, I think that's absolutely disgusting, especially if you're a band that claims to care about world issues or politics or anything like that. So especially with the things outside of the music, because obviously I do all the music myself, because I'm slightly disagreeable. I don't have two guitarists, I don't have a bassist, I'm not that nice of a guy. Fair enough. So like in terms of all of the other stuff, like making posters, making t-shirts, making merchandise, I would never want to outsource that anywhere that was unethical, and I think it's absolutely abhorrent for bands, even small bands I've seen, will utilise essentially slave labour in order to make an extra 25 quid at a gig, and I think that's disgusting. Yeah, I think as well I'm very, very picky, so if I wanted a t-shirt done in a specific way with a specific print and a specific style, I don't know if I'd really necessarily trust an outside company to do it for me, and I also think it's a lot more of a personal thing. I think it's more reasonable to expect £15 for a t-shirt when you printed the t-shirt yourself, you painted on the t-shirt yourself, you did something in order for that product to be created, rather than like, oh, I bulk paid 20 quid for 50 t-shirts and now you all have to buy one for 20 quid a pop. I find that a bit rich, to be fair. Because a lot of like small bands will do that, and it's just sort of like, nobody has the money to buy this t-shirt, bro, why would you do that at all? And it's like AI generated images that have been printed on and you're going £25 a pop. Nah, it's just not something I could ever see myself doing in terms of just being like, just having any morals or integrity, you know what I mean? I just think it's a bit ridiculous for people to do that. I think it's a bit of both. I mean, I think a lot of my personality has been shaped by the sort of long years I've spent being from, 10 to now, very into sort of punk and like pop punk and metal and all of that kind of thing. I think the people that I respect the most in the scene are people that do things themselves and don't compromise their artistic vision and don't compromise their political beliefs or their morals in order to like make money. I'm very anti-capitalist in that way. Listen to public relations.
Out of the fray and put into the ignition flame. Age women leaving home at alarming rates. If you want it out of the tracksuits and violence, the white seeker new has a similar minded. We're gonna scum off of that block there. Mostly because they don't make you their hair. And then you can't go to your friend's house for aware. I'm a middle-aged white woman and I'm scared. I'm signing the petitions, the Tories fucking rock. Transgender people, they can suck my cock. I won't do my research and I don't read. But what more knowledge can I possibly need? I'll do anything that benefit myself. Gentrification, why should I care? Let's just call it improvements and we'll take it from there. I don't care how many poor people I get displaced. The car parking look great right there. I don't care how many poor people I get displaced. It's all for the greater good. It's for the master race. And on a frying pan into the ignition flame. Middle-aged women living home at alarming rates. Anyone that attracted to violence, the why seek a new home so similar-minded. Middle-aged women scared of immigrants. She wasn't born in England, but it's surely common sense. She's not like those brown ones. She came legally. I don't know how you treat that. Just don't come for me.
Well, so I think reconnecting for anybody, especially diaspora Irish people, it's important to reconnect with your culture and your language, especially since the Brits tried so hard to take it off of us. I wasn't raised in Ireland, so I didn't get to learn it in school or anything, which I think probably has helped me, because from what I've heard from everybody else, they don't teach it in a very engaging or interesting way, which also absolutely needs to change. There are so many reforms that need to happen even in Ireland in terms of Irish language and culture. There are still only like 80,000 native speakers, and that is entirely the result of British colonialism, which I think is horrific. So I try my hardest, at least, to try and keep up and learn as best as I can. I'm probably only GCSE level, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not fluent in any way, shape or form, but I try my best to include it, because I think it's really important to have it as part of my repertoire, I suppose, as part of our music. Because if we're going to be so political about everything else, I should be political about things that are happening at home as well.
I look on into the same fucking fire, tell me I care about people. Dirty fucking liar, out of the pond into the same. Out of the pond into the same fucking fire. Out of the pond into the same fucking fire, tell me I care about people. Dirty fucking liar, out of the pond into the. Out of the pond into the same fucking fire, can't convince you anymore, man, I'm getting too tired. Out of the pond into the same fucking fire, can't convince you anymore, man, I'm getting too tired. Out of the pond into the same fucking fire, can't convince you anymore, man.
So I was very political when I was like early teens, so like 12 to 14 I would have been out at any protest that I could actually manage to get to. I'd be skipping school and all sorts of stuff, but then I went through a good couple of years where it was basically unacceptable for me to have opinions or anything without also having no friends and being completely ostracized. So I sort of took a back burner on talking about politics for a really long time, and then obviously October 7th happened, and I mean, I had been previously quite focused on like Western politics because I think I just didn't know any better, but this was the first real like eye-opening, because I was only like 5 when America was in Iraq. Like I wasn't comprehending any of that. I think this was the first time that I had read the news and been like, oh, that's like not normal in any way. That's not, you know, they're looking for oil. That's not, you know, there's weapons of mass destruction. That's just, they are killing people for the sake of killing people. And I think it was maybe the first time in my adult life that I'd been like, oh, okay, we need to focus on everything now, instead of just sort of being honed in on like trans rights, gay rights, that type of stuff. I absolutely, I don't think that there's anything that could, I don't think there's any amount of money I could make, no amount of tax break that I could be given that would stop me from caring about innocent people dying for no reason other than the, you know, salvation of another people, because Israel is a bullshit state that should not have existed in the first place. The Balfour Agreement was signed by the British government, who are consistently horrible cunts who want to kill everybody. None of it is real. Borders aren't real. Sorry. I mean, the Black and Tans were sent to Palestine right after they were sent to Ireland by Winston Churchill, who is also a cunt. Go and spray paint his statue up in town if you've the free time, please. Thank you. I'll give you a balaclava for free, not joking. But yeah, no, there's a lot of shared struggle there, just like the way that there would have been Native American tribes in America helping Irish people during the famine. Irish people, Irish people for some reason, I suppose, probably because of mass migration because of the famine, we sort of have connections everywhere to people everywhere, and then when there's not a direct connection of Irish people being there for the last 200 years, there's the direct connection of, oh well, this government specifically sent their soldiers to kill us just like they sent them to kill you. So it's never, you know, a big loving, happy, oh, we all know each other. It's always, oh yeah, the Brits did that to you as well. So it's, you know, not the big rejoicing family that we'd love to have as international Gaels. However, it is nice to be able to connect with people all over the world in terms of talking about shared colonial struggle and history.
You got no right to do it, get a fucking grip on yourselves. Indoctrination and delusion. Get a 10, you must change your minds again. They hate the terrorists, but they want to see Israel win. Get a 10, you can't change your minds again. They hate the terrorists, but they want to see you people down, even though what suffering is. How do you say that after that you promise to your place? You people down, even though what?
It's absolutely looking that way. I mean, there's people, it really, a lot of the time it boils back down to a class issue because, like, you know, if your parents grow up so poor that you're working and you can't finish your GCSEs and then you have to go on working with no GCSEs, you can't get a better job. You don't have time. You don't have time to come home and read Marx. You don't have time to come home and read leftist theory. You're switching on the TV, you're hearing fucking Nigel Farage go, oh, it's the immigrants' fault that you're still living like this. And you don't have the time or the energy or the access to change that opinion. So I think at a certain point, it is just like, it is all people against the government, and that's what it always has been and always will be. It's just the problem is the government has always been incredibly efficient at making people side with them over nonsense like culture war bullshit every fucking time. Because yeah, obviously trans people and brown people are why you can't pay your rent. It's not your boss that pays you nothing. It's not your job that gives you no hours. It's not universal credit denying you extra payments. No. Alright, it. We play a lot of different shows, and a lot of them we try at least to be able to play charity benefits. So we'll play for Punk for the Homeless a lot, and we did Clapton Punks the other week, which was also fundraising. And then when we can't play gigs that are set fundraisers, what we do is we show up with our balaclavas and we'll try and like auction them off at the front for either the Samir project, or more recently the balaclava fundraiser has been going to my friend Salah, who's a nurse in Palestine. He's a legend actually, so anyone watching this, if you go on my Instagram, you can go on the highlights. He's in there along with every other Palestinian person I work with. You should go follow them all and give them all of your money. All of your money. If you were going to go get a pint today, you probably live in London. That's £7. Give them a tenner.
Turkey or not, the American dish. Take off your talking about I look at the bridge. Tell these matters and the rest is over. Kiss me my teeth while I bust your head in. My English boyfriend wants to be a fucking profi. Got it recruiting, I'm reclaiming territory. The first playing to you know he's trying to blow me. Like he won't see me in that bungee cause I'm going. Turkey or not, the American dish. Take off your talking about I look at the bridge. Tell these matters and the rest is over. Kiss me my teeth while I
Well, this is the problem. I don't think people are radical on the far left. I think you get, you know, the Filden 24, you get the Mood 5, you get people like that, but you don't actually get any real radicals on the left, which I think is a huge problem. Bomb your local government office.